Let's go. Good evening. The time is 6:30 p.m. The regular meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Freehold for April 21st, 2025 is now called to order. Adequate notice of this meeting was provided at least 48 hours prior to commencement of this meeting pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 231 of the laws of 1975, the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice of the time, date, and location of this meeting has been provided by posting a copy of public meeting dates on the municipal bulletin board, by sending a copy to the Asbury Park Press, and by filing a copy with the municipal clerk. I'd like to ask everyone to please stand to salute to the flag, followed by a moment of silence as we remember Pope Francis, who passed away early this morning. Chief Collier, can you please lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mayor Kane.
Here.
Councilman DiBenedetto.
Here.
Here. Councilman DiBenedetto.
I have one more.
Here.
Councilman Friedman.
Here.
Councilwoman Jordan. Here. Councilman Reich.
Here.
Councilwoman Rogers. Here. Councilwoman Stutzer. Here.
Okay. Item 4 this evening is very exciting opportunity here for our Freehold Fire Department. Dave Gruskos from Reliable Automotive Equipment has generously, he called out, he reached out, and he had asked if he'd be able to donate 2 electric fire blankets. I don't know what they're actually called. You guys can talk a little bit. I'm going to ask you to talk a little bit about them. But with today's technology for electric vehicles, where there's a fire situation, the only thing you can do is contain it by smothering it. So these blankets are very, very expensive, and Dave is generously donating 2 of them to the Freehold Fire Department. So I'd like to ask Dave to come up. Chief Wilson, Councilman Benedetto, if you want to just come up and we'll do a quick little presentation. You come up here and...
Oh, sure.
Hey, just stay there.
Okay,
Introduce
so
yourself and-
first of all, Dave, can we give it as far as a tool, what these are going to be used for, and what they're the advances that we're going to have to electric vehicles?
Certainly. I'll move this close to me so it looks like I'm looking at something.
And believe it or not, this is just one of the 2. And that's the size of these things. But thank you, Dave.
Okay, we're very, my company, we supply a lot of the special tooling to the car companies, and we're considered nationally one of the cutting edge companies in technology. We were very concerned with the safety around EV cars. I had heard about people that were electrocuted simply happened getting somebody out of a car in an accident. That's where these came in. These are high voltage hooks. If there is a person and the car's hitting the side, you should assume maybe the car is alive electricity wise because the cabling runs through the side of the car. So I'll give you guys, 4 of these or 6 of these if you want to put them in some of the officers' cars. It's very wise. Containing the fire, I didn't know anything about blankets, so to research it we went actually all around the world. We ended up in Norway, and we found that the rating of blankets had to say CG, which stood for Coast Guard, because a cruise ship can either sink or burn, and it's the highest approval you can get, which these blankets have. So when you put this over an EV car, we call them thermal episodes. It'll catch on fire. Thermal episodes. It contains it. Water is able to permeate the top, and you'll do other systems are coming out for underneath for wetting the car. It becomes extremely important, especially with parking garages and parking spaces. You want to get the car contained out of the space before it spreads and makes the fire just greater. So I'm happy to be part of a good community. Our company's now located at 610 Park Avenue, right next to 618 Restaurant, and it's great to help the town.
Can I just go back on an incident? I've been in the fire department for 30-some years. Mike is our chief. We train on this kind of stuff, but this would be another level that we can advance to an electrical car fire. I came upon last week to an incident where there was an electrical car involved in an accident. I was one of the first guys to respond. The cops weren't there. Nobody was there but myself and my wife. I smelled the car. It's kind of scary when you come upon an electrical vehicle, but unless you're trained in this stuff and you see this stuff, the electrical vehicles are a little different. And Mike will tell you this as the chief. So having another level to fight this fire is a big improvement and a big thing for our fire department to have, and we thank you so much in giving us this.
I'm proud of it, and it will put your fire department in the top 10th of 1% in the nation for containing these fires.
Yeah.
And just, I always try to tell people, if you one day ever go to Sandy Hook and you go on a tour of the old missile silos, the control rooms were made of aluminum and magnesium. And soldiers were told, when you leave, just light this road flare and drop it on the floor, because magnesium and aluminum burn and you can't put the fire out. So being able to contain these cars are made of aluminum and magnesium. So it's super, super important.
Like you're saying with the magnesium with the cars, it's very dangerous. We'll get car fires bad as soon as you start putting water on them. It's like 4th of July, fireworks going off on these things. This is a big help to us for sure for electric cars, because trying to extinguish electric cars, basically they tell you copious amounts of water. You'd be here for hours, just soaking these things down. They'll burn underwater. They're, a big headache for our industry, and something like this is fantastic. Well, we definitely appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
On behalf of all the residents, we really thank you for this. And also, too, we were chatting a little bit before. Dave's business currently in Belford. He's moving his entire operation to the Freehold location. So it's a pleasure to welcome the Freehold, and thank you very much.
Glad to be here.
Thank you.
Chief, pleasure, sir. You can tell me how many, if you want to use some patrol cars, how many?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you. Item 5, workshop discussion.
We have nothing, sir.
Okay. Item 6, our administrator's report. Turn it over to our administrator, Steve Gallo.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members, citizens here in the chamber, as well as those who may be watching at home. I'll briefly synopsize some of the activities that we've been working on over the past month and update you on a few projects. I met with one of the principals of the Hometown Redevelopment Project last week. They are still excited and looking forward to moving forward with the project. Right now, they're engaged in the process of assembling the parcels that are involved with the project. They've made offers, and some of the subject owners think they hit the lottery, and they're asking some unreasonable prices. So there'll be some negotiations going on back and forth to acquire the properties necessary to construct the project, but the project is moving forward. I'm working with the folks, the principals of the KFM partnership to try and get their project moving forward. That's the project that's on Court and Broad on the corner there. 200 Park Avenue, the engineers have submitted their application, and our engineers are reviewing it and responding to issues raised in the documents that they filed. They're also getting ready to pay their water and sewer connection fees, so we always appreciate that. We're having some issues with Starbucks in terms of deliveries that we're working with them. The NAS has spoken to them several times, and they have tractor trailers that kind of go in the wrong way and back up traffic on 33. So we will be working with them to come up with a better way and a better time for deliveries. Nestle's, we continue to meet with developers periodically who are interested in the property. Most of the people who come in are interested in high-density residential development, which we've decided is not the best fit for the borough, so we're avoiding those types of applications. We do have some people who are interested in a data warehouse, which is worth exploring. I'm told by one of the developers that the demolition cost for the building, the existing building that's there, are upwards of $10 million just to tear it down. It's a pretty solid building, so that's got to factor into whoever's going to do what there. We're also in the process of conducting a redevelopment study for the raceway. Our planners have finally gained access to the building, and we'll be preparing a redevelopment study for consideration by the Unified Planning Board and by this governing body to make a declaration as to whether or not it meets the criteria of an area in need of redevelopment. Large portions of the raceway property are vacant land, which automatically qualify as being in need of redevelopment. So we'll be moving forward with that as soon as the study is complete. We're also talking with the developer about the property at 500 Park Avenue. Excuse me, there's approximately 4 acres upland behind the commercial space on Park Avenue that we're in discussions about the development, and they forwarded their escrow deposit, so we're going to have a redevelopment plan drafted for that project, and that'll be before this board as well to consider. On Wednesday, there will be some activity at the intersection of Throckmorton and West Main Street. We are redesigning that intersection. We're going to be doing some milling and paving. And as a result of the intersection will be closed from 7 a.m. until 5 p.m. They promised me that they're only going to be there one day and then we're finished. And so we're looking forward to having that work completed. We did do a robocall. We handed out flyers to all the businesses in the area. We did an email blast of a flyer and we posted it on our social media. So the word is out there. Hopefully everyone will know to obey the traffic directives and avoid the area if possible. We're working on a whole host of paving projects. Throckmorton Street should start in about a week or so. They'll be doing the resurfacing of Throckmorton from the borough limit in towards the center of town. We're also looking forward to paving Lloyd Street, Bond Street, Liberty Street, Monmouth Avenue this summer. We're also doing some major park upgrades, including an ADA accessible playground structure at Lenore Street Park, new playground structure at Musgrave Park, pedestrian improvements at Veterans Park, the addition of soccer mini pitches at Wilson Field, the water future and the new play structure and pickleball courts, all at Liberty Street Park, and we're also seeing improvements this summer at Court Street School to make that building more useful and accessible. There are different community groups that are using it now. The theater group is using it for their productions and practice. So the building is starting to be used. We're still doing yoga at it. So anybody who's interested in using the Court Street School, it's available, and we're certainly willing to discuss the possibilities with anyone who's interested. We have a meeting coming up on the 30th with architects. We're going to be interviewing architects, our building committee for the public safety facility. We have 3 architectural firms that are coming in to make presentations, and we'll hear from the committee, and Chief Colonier and Chief Wilson will be participating as well as our committee that has been working on this project all along. We also have finalized the transaction for the purchase of the land at 17 Broad Street, and I believe the payment went out. It's on the claims list today. We are working with the Lake Toponemus Commission to try and get another grant for a water quality initiative. Chairman Kane identified a method of purifying the water that is not as intensive. It doesn't involve dredging. It's a natural process that involves increasing oxygen levels in the lake and allowing some natural processes to remove the sediments at the bottom of the lake. So we're interested in pursuing that. We're applying for a water quality grant to conduct that work. We're working with our overcrowding committee, and we expect to have some changes to the residential site improvement standards to adopt at a meeting in the near future that will regulate the number of bedrooms you have in the house by the number of parking spaces you have available. So if you don't have parking, you won't be able to add additional additional bedrooms to a building. We have on our agenda a public hearing on a bond that we're issuing to pay the cost of our lead service line replacement program. We're under federal mandate, as are everywhere in the country, to replace lead service lines that deliver drinking water to people's homes. This is going to be done at no cost. The borough is bearing the cost. And the financing vehicle that we're using is called the iBank. It used to be called the New Jersey Environmental Infrastructure Trust. And they offer low interest loans at a blended rate, which is half of what we could borrow funds at. And they also have a feature that's called loan forgiveness. And once the job is completed, half of the loan will be forgiven, and we won't have to repay it at all. We're also working on a historic trails project that involves historic sites throughout the building. We're working with the borough historian Ken McCoy and former Mayor Higgins. We've identified these sites, and there's going to be a marker at each site that you'll be able to walk up to and read a little bit about what you're looking at, and also to use your phone to scan a QR code and go to a much more in-depth site if you're interested in learning more about that. Again, that's all being paid for through grants that we've received, and we're hoping that if it's popular and people enjoy the hike around the borough, that we can make other trails based on other subjects, perhaps the type of architecture in town. We'd like to do one for houses of worship in town. We could do Springsteen locations in town. So we're hopeful to have a series of hikes around the borough that you'll be able to walk around and learn a little bit about different things that are going on. And there's a new word that we all got to get used to. It's called the semi-quincentennial. Okay, semi-quincentennial. That's the 250th anniversary. You may have noticed over the weekend they did a reenactment of the Battle of Lexington and Concord, which 250 years ago yesterday took place and started the Revolutionary War. We're going to be seeing all sorts of activities here in the borough. State legislators, Senator Gopal, as well as our assembly members, Dr. Margie Donlan and Judge Luann Peterpaul, have graciously arranged for us to have financing to assist us with the celebration of this important event. So we're going to be using that money. Initially, we're going to have a kickoff event working in partnership with Downtown Freehold to have a band called the British Invasion appear at an event that we're having downtown on June 28th of this year. We're also going to be enjoying the fireworks at the racetrack for at least one more time. They've graciously consented to allow us to do that. So that will be on July 3rd, and it'll involve the Eddie Testa Band providing the entertainment. We're working closely with the Recreation Commission, and we're looking forward to that event this summer. So that's some of the stuff we've been working on. And any questions you may have, or we can move each other.
Any questions?
I have a comment. Saturday, beautiful day. I did my regular daily drive around town, and it was truly heartwarming to see how our parks were being used. There was only one park, and that was Musgrave that day, Musgrave Park, that didn't have people enjoying either walking or the equipment or everything. The most used was Liberty.
Great.
They were every place from the old Kaboom Park
Sure.
to the basketball courts, and there were people doing the loop. It was just wonderful to see that.
I'm glad to hear it.
Money well spent.
There you go. And we're gonna do a lot more.
Just real quick, Steve, on that historic trails thing that Kevin and Nolan are working on,
Yes.
can they include those murals in the back here on that trail too? I think
Sure.
we talked about that
Yeah,
one of those meetings, and there's a lot of historical locations within there.
yeah. we
People can come in here and look at
we can
that too
certainly
as
do
part of the program.
Yep.
I have a question. On the homegrown redevelopment plan, on the official offer letters that are being prepared, is there a deadline for them to get back to them on that?
I'm not certain, I'm sure there is a deadline, you know, the letters, I haven't seen them yet, but they're supposed to be drafted and ready to go. We also, at our last meeting, we hired the Otto Group, which is a real estate appraiser company out of Mattawan. They're just tidying up the appraisals, which need to go with the letter. So the letter should be going out this week. We have a meeting on Wednesday with the redevelopment team, so we'll make sure that they finally get sent out. And there will be a time frame on them. It doesn't go forever.
All right, thank you. Item 7 is the approval of minutes, council meeting April 7th, 2025.
I'll move the minutes, please. I'll second them, please.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson DiBenedetto?
Yes.
Friedman?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers? Yes. Schuster?
Yes.
Okay, the minutes of council meeting of April 7th, 2025 are approved. We have a few proclamations tonight that we're going to read into the record. First one is proclamation of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Freehold declaring April 2025 as Autism Awareness Month. I'd like to ask Councilmember Jordan to read that into the record, please.
Absolutely. Just before I do, I just don't know if everybody in the here in the chambers knows that Mayor and Council went out and solicited a grant for, and we partnered with Neighborhood Connections to Health and the Freehold Family Health Center to increase visibility and access for people with disabilities for healthcare. So anybody ever has an opportunity to go on down there, take a look. We put in transfer boards. We have things for children with autism that will help, minimize their nervousness and things like that. So you have an opportunity if anybody would like to go and tour and see what we're doing over there. It's wonderful work. And that's a grant from the Department of Disability. So, let me know and we'll take you over and see that. So with that, I'm just going to read this. Borough Freehold proclamation declaring April 2025 as Autism Awareness Month. Whereas autism is a complex brain disorder that often inhibits a person's ability to communicate, respond to surroundings, and form relationships with others. And whereas autism was once thought to be a relatively rare disorder, only 1 in 10,000 people. And whereas the most recent study by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services identified the National Autism Spectrum Disorder, ASD, rate as 1 in 54 births. New Jersey's rate is reported 1 in 32, affecting people of all racial, ethnic, and socioeconomic backgrounds. And whereas, while there is no cure for autism, it is well documented that if an individual with autism receives treatment early in their lives, it is often possible for the individual to make significant improvements. And whereas, collaboration among schools, families, and the broader community is essential to enhancing awareness and understanding of autism and to furthering inclusive practices that benefit every student. And whereas, Autism Awareness Month also celebrates the stories and lives of those with autism, it is also important to remember that autism is a lifelong condition with varying degrees of severity, and research treatments and therapies that will improve those lives with autism is continuing. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Kevin A. Kane, do hereby proclaim April 2025 as Autism Awareness Month in the Borough of Freehold, and is honored to take part in this annual observance in the hopes that it will lead to a better understanding of the disorder. Signed, Kevin A. Kane, Mayor, April 21, 2025.
Thank you. The item 9, next proclamation of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Freehold declaring April 2025 as Child Abuse Prevention and Awareness Month. I'd like to ask Councilmember Schutzer if you'd read this in for us.
Yes, and I'd just like to preface the proclamation, the reading of the proclamation, with the idea that the fact that we have to have a month that is dedicated to the prevention of child abuse is sickening in itself. This is very alarming. Whereas there are about 2 million youth aged 17 and younger living in New Jersey, and whereas it is estimated that 1 in 100 children experiences abuse, and whereas child abuse and neglect is a serious problem affecting every segment of our community, and finding solutions requires input and action from everyone. And whereas our children are our most valuable resources and will shape the future of the Borough of Freehold. And whereas child abuse can have long-term psychological, emotional, and physical effects that have lasting consequences for victims of abuse. And whereas protective factors are conditions that reduce or eliminate risk and promote the social, emotional, and developmental well-being of children. And whereas effective child abuse prevention activities succeed because of the partnerships created between child welfare professionals, education, health, community, and faith-based organizations, businesses, law enforcement agencies, and families. And whereas communities must make every effort to promote programs and activities that create strong and thriving children and families, and whereas we acknowledge that we must work together as a community to increase awareness about child abuse and contribute to promote the social and emotional well-being of children and families in a safe, stable, and nurturing environment. And whereas prevention remains the best defense for our children and families. Now therefore, I, Kevin Kane, Mayor of the Borough of Freehold, do hereby proclaim April 2025 as National Child Abuse Prevention Month in the Borough of Freehold, and urge all citizens to recognize this month by dedicating ourselves to the task of improving the quality of life for our children and families. And it's signed Kevin Kane, April 21st, 2025.
Thank you. I just want to take a quick minute. I'm going to put the chief on the spot for a second. I'm sorry to do this to you, chief, but we, our police department is working on something very, very special with the Stephanie Pars Foundation. Eddie and Charlene Pars, a good friend of ours in Freehold Borough, lost their daughter to domestic violence and created a foundation in her memory to try to, just create an awareness. And he's reached out to myself, and I referred him to the chief, and the chief is working with the foundation. Chief, I'll let you talk a couple minutes about what we're trying to do in PD in relation, to this situation.
And working on the building and trying to make it soften the building. We all know that government buildings are pretty cold to walk into as far as aesthetics. We wanted an area outside of the lobby which we can bring victims in and have them in a more private, comfortable setting, more secure. And we were working on this to create the new room when I was contacted by Mayor Kane. He connected with Mr. Pars as far as the Stephanie Pars Foundation, which works with victims of domestic violence. And this afternoon we were able to meet with Mr. Pars, look at the room, discuss the plans for the room, and we're going to move forward. And probably within the next several months, we're going to take a room that we had, in which we were turning it into a room so we can bring the victims out of the lobby. He's going to have bring the furniture in, design it, and the room will be informational also. One, it provides that intimate, private setting, gives victims more comfort, And as well as we're going to be able to provide them with the necessary resources, whether it's from the Community Affairs Resource Center, CARC on South Street, or 180 Turning Lives Around. Could be also used for sexual assault victims or any victims for that in mind. But it's just a great opportunity. It's extremely sad how it came about, but the police department, I know as well as the town, we're honored to work with Mr. Parson and make this dream come true for him to assist the police departments, and he's done many in New Jersey so far. He's working on Mount Alvin right now. He did Freehold Township. He met with Wall. He's been in Old Bridge. He's been as far as up to East Orange. So it's extremely important and for us to work with him and help him with this process. And if we can help that next victim of domestic violence by bringing them in and gaining their confidence that they can come forward, I believe the national average is it's not to the 7th time until the victim will leave the situation. So if we can help them and provide a safe space, but have the advocates come in and be able to sit with them, it's more private, more intimate, and we're on board every day and all day. So I'm very happy to work with Mr. Parson and the Foundation and the project.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And item 10 is proclamation of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Freehold declaring April 25th, 2025 as Arbor Day in the Borough of Freehold. I'd like to ask Councilmember Rogers if you read this into the record for us, please.
Thank you. As the others did, I will preface with saying that Arbor Day is a very important day for our Shade Tree Committee. We actually make attempts to engage the community, specifically our children. So this year we did an essay contest with students at Park Avenue Elementary, and we have reviewed the essays, and we have selected our winners, and we will be making presentations to them on May 2nd at 4 o'clock in the Park Avenue School gym. So if anybody's available, we appreciate you stopping by and joining us there as we recognize the children. The essays were really high quality essays, and the kids did a wonderful job. Normally when we do the poster contest, we might get a little bit more of a response, but the kids that did respond did an excellent job, so we're very proud of them. So I will read their proclamation. Borough of Freehold proclamation of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Freehold designating April 25th, 2025 as Arbor Day in the Borough of Freehold. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Martin proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas this holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. And whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife, and whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of the business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now therefore, I, Kevin King, Mayor of the Borough of Freehold, do hereby proclaim April 25th, 2025 as Arbor Day in the Borough of Freehold. And I urge all citizens to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands and to support our borough's shade tree programs. And further, I urge all citizens to plant trees to brighten the hearts and promote the well-being of present and future generations. And it's signed Kevin King, Mayor, April 21st, 2025. And I also want to recognize that we do have one of our members here, Christine Gregory, is very active on our Shade Tree Committee.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, item 11 is second reading, public hearing ordinance 2025/9 to amend and supplement Title II Administration and Personnel of the Code of the Borough of Freehold. This is the second reading and public hearing. I'd like to open up to the public. If anyone from the public care to address this ordinance, please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
Seeing no comment from the public, I move the public portion be closed.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Jordan? Yes. Reich?
Yes.
Rogers? Yes. Schuster?
Yes.
Okay, the public portion is closed. We have a resolution adopting ordinance 2025/9 and authorization of publication.
I'll offer that.
Second?
Discussion? Roll call.
Just has to do with the LoSAP.
Okay, any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Abstain.
Freeman?
Yes.
Jordan? Yes. Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schuster?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2025/9 is adopted. Item 12 is a second reading public hearing, bond ordinance 2025/10, providing for a borough-wide lead service line replacement project, appropriating $3,133,035, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $3,133,035 bonds and notes to finance a portion of the cost thereof, authorized in and by the Borough of Freehold and the County of Monmouth, New Jersey. Again, this is a second reading public hearing. If anyone from the public care to address this ordinance, please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
Seeing no comment from the public, I make a motion that the public portion be closed.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Jordan? Yes. Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schuster?
Yes.
Okay, the public portion is closed. We have a resolution adopting bond ordinance 2025/10 and authorization of publication.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, I want to ask the attorney. It dawned on me after last meeting's vote. I am affected by this. Should I be voting or not?
You're just affected as a resident?
I'm affected as a resident with lead in my pipes.
No, I do not believe that would be a conflict.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Jordan? Yes. Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schuster?
Yes.
Okay, bond ordinance 2025/10 is adopted. Item 13 is the first reading and introduction of ordinance 2025/11, amending and supplementing Chapter 13, Public Services, Section 13.04, Water and Sewer Service Systems of the revised ordinance of the Borough of Freehold, County of Monmouth, New Jersey.
I would love to say it. I don't have lead in my pipes, but yes, I'll move this.
I can't believe he's strike that from the record.
I'll second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Jordan? Yes. Reich?
Yes.
Rogers? Yes. Schuster?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2025/11 is introduced. Item 14 is the introduction of the 2025 municipal budget notice for the Borough of Freehold, establishing the date for public hearing May 19th, 2025, and authorization publication of required notices.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Discussion?
Yes, I just want to thank all of those involved, specifically Kathy Caruso and her team, as well as Tracy and the lawyer and everybody who was involved in developing this budget. A lot of thought had to go into this because we're in challenging times. I believe that, the best was done for this budget, and I'm very proud of the work that was done and how we were able to contain costs and things like that. So I just wanted to extend my thank you to everyone who's involved in creating this budget.
Any further discussion?
I agree 100%. Margaret, I commend you and your group and Kathy and Steve and everybody involved in this. We thank you for your efforts to keep Freehold Borough the place that everybody wants to live in.
Any further discussion?
That group would be Margaret chairs and Adam and Annette serve on that committee.
Okay, anybody else? Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
Reich.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Stetser. Yes.
Okay, the 2025 municipal budget is introduced. Item 15 is our consent agenda, and just a note that matters listed under the items of consent agenda are required to conduct the day-to-day operations of the borough and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. There'll be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired of any items, that item will be considered separately. Would someone like to move consent agenda items CR1 through CR7?
I will do that.
Second, please.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto.
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
Reich.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Stetser. Yes.
Okay, consent agenda items CR1 through CR7 are adopted, and that's the end of our consent agenda. Item 16 is the approval of bills.
I make a motion that we pay our bills.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, I just want to point out, and again, I'm not trying to be former councilman George Schnurr, but this month's trash and recycling fee a month was $115,039. So when people talk about services and taxes, and this is the increase that we've gone from about 89 average to 115,000 a month.
Any other discussion?
Yes, I'm sure I'll get a text from Councilman Schnurr, who's screaming right now.
Yes.
Anybody else? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto.
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
Reich.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Stetser. Yes.
Okay, our bill list for this evening's meeting is approved. Item 17 is a redevelopment presentation. Rose Realty 2 LLC requesting review. It's a minor subdivision, minor site plan, and change the use to a boarding house, 21 Hudson Street. Just ask our attorney, Mr. Cosgrove, just to set it up for us a little bit. Introduce Mr. Alfieri.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Alfieri is representing Rose Realty 2 LLC, and the main portion of the application concerns a change of use to a boarding house, as we refer to it in the memorandum. There could be other names, but essentially it's I'm sure the council will get into it in more detail, but a change of use where there's a shared kitchen amongst several residents in an existing building. Since the application is in the redevelopment zone, Freehold Center Core Rehabilitation Plan area, it comes before the mayor and council as opposed to the planning board. Of course, were issued by the borough engineer and the borough planner who are here tonight and will summarize their reports and answer any questions.
Okay, great, thanks.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Salvatore Alfieri, Cleary, Jacoby, Alfieri, Jacobs on behalf of the property owners. As council summarized, Mr. Katz, who's present, is one of the principals of the entity that purchased this property, 21 Hudson Street, backs up to the Market Yard parking lot. So his initial vision was to build a parking lot to connect to Market Yard parking lot to accommodate his other buildings that he owns on the Market Yard parking lot in the back, because every time he changes tenants, he has to come here, has to ask for relief, has to go to the planning board. So in an effort to accommodate his tenant mix, his initial reaction was, let me put this parking lot in. Since that time, he also started thinking about what does he do with the structure of the home that was the 18-bed assisted living facility at one point before he bought it, and what does he do with that? So there's really two aspects to the application that we're seeking your input in. One is, of course, this parking lot, and then the second is what do we do with the former assisted living building. So we have Rob Siv present, who is our engineer, who did the plans, and we're going to ask him to summarize what he's proposing, and then Mr. Katz is here to discuss potentially what he could do with the structure itself, the building itself. And we could treat them separately or together, depending on how you want to proceed, but we would like to move forward tonight with some indication that from the mayor and council is what you prefer us doing with both aspects of the project.
I would like to do them together.
Okay,
The
well,
parking lot and the building.
okay, so
There was
let's,
one goal in the beginning. Now there's two.
well, Well, why don't you hear us out
We need a
first?
building and the parking lot. We're talking one parcel of ground,
Yeah.
two parcels of ground, two different lots, am I right?
Well, it's one parcel, whether
One
it's,
lot, two buildings.
no, one building.
They combined the backyards like 35 years ago.
Okay.
So it's got two
But we're
backyards and the
talking-
one house.
One proposal in the beginning.
One property.
It's one property.
It's one property.
Right.
Technically, it's two properties, and will remain two properties, different configuration.
There'll be an adjustment of the lot line.
Reconfigured lots. Two properties exist, and they propose two properties, just different, reconfigured in different uses.
Okay.
So hear us out, and then obviously
Yeah,
we'll listen.
I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. Not at all. Come on, Rob, so come on up. Rob has a, what's best for you?
Over there?
Over there.
Maybe in that corner, yeah.
So, Rob, orient the board as to where this is located and then what that colored
Yes,
portion.
I got two exhibits I'm gonna hopefully pass out if it's all right with the board.
Sure.
The first one maybe will help clear up Councilman DiBenedetto's question. I'm just gonna click one for us, and I'll try to explain it as we're walking.
Here, Rob, I'll do it while you're explaining.
There's the second one. You pass out the same thing? Yeah. So the first exhibit is basically a copy of the township tax map, and what I did was I highlighted in green tax lot 27, which is the lot that contains the existing building, 21 Hudson Street, and it runs from Hudson Street all the way to the Market Yard parking lot. The second lot is highlighted in red, and you'll see that's a landlocked property behind tax lot 26. So there's two lots there today, and what we're proposing to do, if you see on that exhibit, there's a dashed line that goes parallel to the front line of the red lot, 2601. We're just basically looking to subdivide off the back half of the green lot and add it to the red lot. So we're taking the back half of the existing building and creating one larger lot for what would be the future parking lot. So you can see, again, the green is 27, which has the existing residential structure on it, and the red lot is the existing vacant lot that's landlocked. We're going to cut off the back or left side of the green lot and add it to the red lot. So we have two lots, we'll end up with two lots, just making the green lot smaller, roughly in half. Does that kind of clear up the two lots, one property? And then the second exhibit is the layout or colored rendering of the proposed parking lot, which would provide 39 parking stalls on that new lot we create and connect to the Market Yard parking lot to the right of the existing trash enclosures that's there. You would come in on the right side of the trash enclosure and proceed in a counterclockwise direction around the parking lot, obviously parking in one of those parking spots. If it's full, you'd use the hatched area to turn around and come back out. And that's the proposal tonight, is for that parking lot and the subdivision that creates the lot for the parking lot. And then the third prong is the use of that existing residential building.
I'm looking at this one here.
That's the parking lot, yes.
Okay, this is what you're proposing?
Correct, for the parking lot,
So
yes.
I'm gonna lose parking spots in my market?
No. You'll lose 3 parking stalls just where the connecting driveway is. 4?
It's 4 parking stalls, and this is really important because
I'm gonna lose spots.
we're going to lose 4 parking spots, and those are the truck parking spots. That's where the trucks park. That's the designated truck parking. And I have no problem losing those spots. But, I mean, this is in the redevelopment zone, right? That, right? And there's 0 lot line.
Barbara?
Zero lot line, it's, for structures, I have to look at the parking setback.
Because what I'd like to do is the part of the parking lot that abuts the county lot, the county employee lot, just on the bottom end of this diagram here.
I'm following you.
If we can pull those spots closer to like where that 167 line is, and I know that's an elevation line for this, but, or whatever that is. Oh, no, that depends, I don't know what that is. That 167 line is, it's 167.
The topographic line.
Yeah, it's the topographic line.
It's like 3 or 4 feet closer to the property. It gives us basically, it gives you,
So you want to shift it closer to the county parking lot?
so that way the spots are like, long enough to fit those trucks. Or some spots, someplace need to be able to fit 4 trucks
So you want to relocate the 4 trucks we're taking spot and relocate them into this parking
into
lot?
that lot.
I think we could do that. So to answer your question, Councilman Di Benedetto, we'd lose the 4 that where our driveway's connecting and pick up 39 that are being proposed.
But they're not our spots, that would be,
Correct.
they're your spots.
Private
that you
spots.
need.
They just for,
Yeah, but they're going to allow they're going to allow the property owner to use his properties and put tenants in.
For, what's he using them for?
Well, currently or future?
The future.
We don't know. It depends on when the tenant mixes come up.
I'm losing 4 spots and he's gaining 39 for what?
To Steve, come on up. You can tell him.
Your name is?
Hi, Steve Katz.
Okay.
So-
You own this with Rob Cash,
Correct.
am I correct?
Right.
I don't know. Do you swear anyone into this?
May as well.
Okay.
Swear to
Tell
tell
the
the truth.
testimony this evening to be truthful.
Yes. So, initially I bought Daysner's building, which is 20-28 East
Exactly
Main.
what you bought, you can
Okay.
keep going.
So, now I have insufficient parking on 10 East Main. I had no choice but to buy another piece of property. I bought the other piece of property, and now I'm being held on insufficient parking. In order for me to do the parking lot, in order for me to get tenants, I have to do the parking lot. That parking lot eases up everyone's tension, and I'm the one who's buying it.
Wasn't this parking lot purchased to help the hotel to
Valet
valet cars
parking.
there? Let's be truthful here.
I'm always truthful.
Okay.
What do you
Well,
mean,
I am
let's be
too. I'm
truthful?
saying that's why I'm asking
I'm
the
telling you
question,
exactly the
to
way
make
it
sure
is.
you're truthful.
I don't have to make sure I took it off.
Okay. Why was this parking lot purchased, or this property purchased? It was to accommodate.
It was
the hotel
initially
for parking.
my property to accommodate 10 East Main.
Thank you.
And then Rob Cash jumped in on it, but there was sufficient parking for both of us. Because he's using it at nighttime for his weddings, or which he needs most. And I'm using it during the day for the 10 East Main stores. But there's 40,
They're not stores, they're houses.
no, I'm talking about the 10 East Main, not the house.
Okay.
So that was my initial thing. That's why I had to bought the property. The property came with the house. I was asked to buy a piece of property 700 feet within the parking lot. I bought it 2 sides of the parking lot. I don't know what else you want me to do.
It's
So
just
now
like-
I have it empty for a year and a half. I have 10 East Main empty for 3 years. And I'm just finishing up 20 East Main. So I got a lot of empty things and it's just not flowing for me.
You're ahead of yourself.
I'm behind on myself.
The businessman's ahead of himself right now.
What options did I have?
You don't have any.
Correct.
And just
You're
a
ahead of
little,
yourself.
just a little background.
Okay.
Steve
I
made an offer.
understand.
Steve made an offer to buy this
I
property.
understand the barrel you're in. Okay.
Steve
But-
made an offer.
I'm
to-
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I bought the 10 East Main not thinking I needed another piece of property. Otherwise, I would have never got involved because this is hurtful at this point. I mean, if you can imagine 3 empty pieces of property with the taxes and the mortgages, you could guess where I'm coming from.
I understand.
Thank you.
And just a little background, Steve made an offer to buy this property, Rob Cash made a separate offer to buy the property, both with different intentions, and they got together and did it together, right? Isn't that essentially how it came down?
Very close.
Yeah. So, so the goal, and our impression, at least Steve from the beginning, was the borough is sensitive to the parking, and we come here for parking variances, and a lot of times, some people say no to no matter what. So he felt this was a good thing, to add parking, to eliminate the need to ask for variances. So, I mean, it should be a win-win. I mean, obviously, the building we have to deal with and try and figure out what to do with that, but the additional parking, especially if we replace your 4 that you're losing, it should be a net gain to the borough.
And is the 39 spots helpful to the whole municipal parking lot? Or is it just for me? Because if I take everything off the street from like 10 East Main, everyone has more parking.
Well, that's my question. Are the employees from 10 East Main and the employees from 22 to 28 Main,
22 to 28 is
you got
taken care of.
taken care of? All right, so you're just dealing with 10
It's
East Main.
just 10 East Main.
All right, are you gonna have have that designated employee parking, or is that how you plan to shift that parking in, or how do you plan to?
Whoever's gonna validate or whoever wants it is gonna.
So you're just gonna open up the parking lot to the public, anyone can park there?
If they want to.
And there'll be, what's that on a liability issue? Is like, how does that work?
That's my insurance.
That's correct.
All right, and there'll be signage saying that anyone can park in there?
Well, you're gonna have to designate some for your tenants, or
Yeah,
it's
for
gonna
sure.
defeat the purpose, right?
That was my.
Exactly.
I think you need to,
Yeah.
I think you should
It's only
designate.
it's
some
only
for
gonna
your
be when
tenants.
there's extra spots.
Right.
Other than that, no. But I'm sure it'll be accommodating for every business on the.
And how will that work with the other owner who needs it for his uses?
Whenever he wants to use it, he uses it,
Yeah.
and whenever it's full, it's full, and we can't take any more
So,
cars.
so on a Friday night, Saturday night, when he has a wedding and he needs it,
Correct.
your tenants aren't in there because they're during the day.
Correct.
Right. So, I mean, your people.
How do you know that, sorry to interrupt, but how do you know the tenants are gonna be during the day? I mean, if you've got shouldn't some of those shops, retail shops be open at night?
Well, they'll be open usually from what, 8 the most, 9 the most?
Well,
I don't think so. Usually they're,
I don't know,
right. So let's say 9 o'clock, in and out.
so
Yes, 40 spots,
so as I was saying,
yes.
so the general public comes in and takes a spot, and there's no place there for the ballet, or there's no place there. The general public gets in there and parks before your people get in there.
No, they cannot. It's a private parking lot.
Well, that's what we're saying. It's
Right.
private.
So it's
Right,
gonna be
exactly. So-
Until someone, yeah, it has to be regulated a little bit, otherwise the people that shop in my building will not be
here-
accommodated.
Here's my thing,
Right.
and I know that you before have accused me of mistreating you, but here's my thing. I'm not a genius business person, but I'm not an idiot. So I kind of resent your coming in here and trying to give the impression that you're doing this for us, that this is gonna benefit us, because it's not. So I think we should just drop that whole thing right now.
Wait, Ms. Schultz.
Shut
I don't want to drop it, because it's going to accommodate and help everyone, not just me. It will. It will help everyone. If I'm taking cars from my building of 10,000 square feet and putting them in a parking lot, that gives more room for the next person to park. I am helping everyone. And me. I didn't spend $1 million not to help me.
Oh, and I understand
yeah,
that.
right.
I said I'm not a genius business
No,
person.
but I'm not being
I
rude
get
to you
that,
at any moment.
I don't want any false impressions here that.
No,
But I'm
I-
not gonna argue.
No, I don't wanna argue, I just-
It just, okay, I get it.
How can you designate your clients to park over here if your business is over here? How can you do that?
The employees, he could make all the tenants employees park there.
How many employees do you have?
I didn't build yet.
How many do you propose to have?
He rents it out, so he doesn't have any employees.
Well, let's say if you have 5, 6,
What do you
7,
have- what was
8,
your
how many
plan?
spots do you have here?
Well, that should have been
How can you
designated in
tell
the
a
original.
client to park here when you're over here with your business?
The parking
Sir,
lot,
I've been in business since 1946 in that market yard, so don't tell me your business is here and you can tell your clients.
What option
to
do I
park here.
have?
It doesn't
well,
work.
that was the only option that I have. That was the closest piece of property to the municipal
I
parking
know
lot.
that, but
I
you
can't get any
It
closer.
happened with Orem, it happens with the hotel, it happens with the Jester. We cannot tell our clients where to park. So
Tell me
between
what-
those, let me hear me out. Between those hours of free parking, they're gonna park at the closest parking spot to your establishment. It's fact. You may own businesses, but you don't run a business. You're not in a business. You may own the building, but you don't run that business in the building. Do you understand that?
I run a lot of different businesses.
Well, I applaud you for that. You own a lot of public buildings, but you don't run a business where people park here and shop here.
That's the
They're
best.
gonna park the
That's
closest
the
place to that
best that
establishment
could
they're
be
going
done.
to.
In my situation, you can't do any better. Tell me what else
In
I
a
can do.
perfect world, it would work, but
In
it's
a
not a
per-
perfect world.
Correct.
But
It
you-
is not.
But your ordinance provides that if we're deficient parking, we have to find spots within a certain distance
700 feet.
in order to get relief. So he's building parking within that 700 feet so he can get the relief. Otherwise, we have to go sign leases for other parking, which we've been forced to do.
How many,
Can I say one more thing?
how many pieces of bread can I come out of this container? Because he's gonna help Rob Cash when he has a repass at 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and he's gonna have his clients park in the same parking lot. How many loaves of bread can you feed with this? I don't understand.
The last parking spot in the municipal parking lot is 30 feet away from my parking lot. What if somebody parks at the end of the road? How far are they away from my parking lot? Not far at all.
Oh.
I don't know, I don't know where else to go.
I'm not smelling what you're stepping in. I just.
I don't know where else to, tell me what else, tell me a better answer. I'm willing to
I
listen.
don't have a better answer.
Okay, so
I don't have it.
what do I do?
So if,
Leave the property and just let it stay? Because it's been there for
No,
a
I
year.
applaud you for trying to make an effort to
Am I entitled to a few spots of the building itself?
I applaud you for trying to make an effort to do this, but you have a partner. You have Rob Cash. You have American Hotel to justify their repasses, their weddings, their bar mitzvahs.
They're not gonna,
Counsel, do you want to get back to the presentation at this point?
well, I mean, we finished with the engineering because it's a simple concept from the parking.
So, let's just go back to the engineer, our engineers. I mean, I think people have been talking about putting a parking lot here for 20 plus years, so putting a parking lot, I am not opposed to putting a parking lot there. First, with the trucks, I'm looking at this, I'm not sure if these trucks can make such a sharp turn into those spots.
It would have to be a no truck parking lot.
Well then, I'm not talking about tractor trailers, I'm talking about the box trucks that currently park in those 4 spots that they're taking. We need to be able to accommodate those trucks someplace. So that's, from my standpoint, first and foremost. I'm perfectly happy with a parking lot. We just have to accommodate the 4 box truck parking spots that are being taken away for your ingress and egress. And then when it comes to the lighting, I think the lighting should just match what the borough has now. I don't, these different light heads. Just go with what the borough has and keep it simple. That's all, with the parking lot, those are really my only. The other part of the application, I don't know if we want to get into that, but I can't, in good conscience, go for a boarding house. It doesn't serve the plan, I don't know how that, I'm all for the parking lot, but I cannot vote for a boarding house. I'm sorry, that's just where I am on that.
So are you going to give testimony as to what kind of house use is
Yeah, so Steve, you want to just describe what your vision was for the house, since the issue with the house is that it was assisted living, it has one centralized kitchen to service the 18 residents, so now he's attempting to try and generate some sort of revenue from that building. So Steve.
I was renting it out by floor because everyone has an exit and an entrance for each floor. And everyone has a full bathroom on each floor. So.
When you say you were renting it, you're not renting it out.
No,
your
I'm not
intention.
renting out.
Right.
My intention to make it as easy and as best as possible. Similar to what I did with Dayson's building. There's not 50 people in there anymore. There's 9 people in there.
So-
Kitchen's in the basement of this building?
Or-
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have
It's a
8
commercial
bedrooms
kitchen.
on three
I'm sorry?
floors. You're proposing 8 bedrooms on 3 floors with 1 kitchen and 1 bathroom on 1 full bath on each level,
Correct.
on each living, on the 3 bedroom floors.
Correct. Right?
That's a boarding house.
And their own exit and entrance on each floor. That's the way the building is now. So I don't know what else to do with it.
What was your vision when you bought it? Was it to do that?
My vision was the parking lot first, because I can't do anything with 10 East Main. I was insufficient parking. So
Can you put kitchens on each floor and make it 3 apartments?
it's a lot of work.
I
Yeah.
understand.
And
But you
also,
understand what a boarding house would be like, right? My parents ran a boarding house in this town back in the 70s.
Yeah.
My mom and I did, it's not a
Yeah.
fun life, it's not a fun job, I got news to you.
You know, a lot of my tenants are very nice, and I wait until I get the right people. Not to say that the next person is going to do what I'm doing. So I
Well,
understand.
That's
I understand.
part of
I
the use
get it.
variance here.
I get it. But
Is there any possibility that the building could be remodeled back into an assisted living facility? That a company could come in and manage it as an assisted living facility?
I went through that route, and it's licensing and a lot of insurances, and you know what? I'm trying to avoid that route.
So you're trying to avoid using a building that was designed as an assisted living facility as an assisted living facility?
Yeah, I don't want to be a manager of an assisted living. I'm trying to avoid it, if I can.
So, forgive me, so if, let's just go down this path for a quick second. If an assisted living facility, a company comes in and rents the building from you, and they have their own licensing, their own insurance, their own
Right.
staff, all this other stuff, how, other than being a landlord,
Right.
what other involvement would you have on it?
None.
So you don't have to worry about the licensing and the insurance for that?
No.
They would just have,
Right.
so they have to come in as the full package and
Right,
just, and sign a lease with you?
Right. And I tried that, and the element wasn't great. You know, so I hesitated.
What do you mean by the element wasn't great?
It was like more of a rehab type of thing, and I don't think that you would appreciate that better than.
Well, a rehab's different than a nursing home.
Right.
So
Right,
you're
well,
right,
is
you
that,
would not appreciate that.
Not the rehab after.
Halfway house.
After.
Halfway house?
Yeah.
All right, so that's not assisted living?
No.
No, that's a halfway house, or, right, that's a recovery house,
See,
right?
that's a slippery slope here.
I
You
know.
know, we get, someone wants to do it, and then it
Oh,
becomes a halfway house, or a boarding house, or
Everything is.
a rooming house.
That's why it's impossible for me to tell you exactly which way I'm going, because I don't have a direction.
Right.
Because
But if it
I don't know what's
was,
acceptable, what
but
is
if it
not.
was an assisted
and-
living company that came in to manage the property, or to manage the
House.
the business, the
Right.
house, all you would just be a landlord on the property.
Right.
They would be the package, they would be the assisted living package, and the house would work as it was maybe with some slight modifications, granted that the house was built in whatever year it was built in now, it's 2025, but that could work as a small assisted living facility. I mean, aside from the fact that, like, for instance, by dividing the properties, there's no backyard for this house. The driveway, I don't know how many cars can fit on the driveway, Ron? 2 or 3. So if you do a boarding house with 8 different bedrooms,
Where are they parking?
what's the calculation for bedrooms for parking? No, for a boarding house for parking spots for the bedrooms.
Just as a note,
Yeah.
the application clarify whether it's 9 bedrooms or 8 bedrooms.
The letter that we have says 2 bedrooms on the first floor, 2 bedrooms on the 4th floor, and the top floor has 8 bedrooms.
It's 8.
4 bedrooms on the second.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, 2, 4, 2, so 8 total.
They've changed.
Okay, so
From
they're
the-
in a
Okay.
different configuration.
So just to answer your question, Councilman, the assisted living facility
Mhm.
had 18 bedrooms, is my understanding.
Okay.
And it was 4 bedrooms for every 1 parking stall.
Okay.
So that'd be 4.5 parking stalls required, plus 1 parking stall for every 2 employees.
Okay.
So the way the assisted living facility was set up, when it was previously operated, it needed 5.5 parking stalls.
Okay. 6.
Call it 6.
If it's a boarding house?
It's a boarding house. The ordinance says 1 parking stall for every sleeping or dwelling unit. I took that as every bedroom.
Okay.
So if it's an 8-bedroom facility, it's 8 parking stalls. So you'd be going from 6
to 8. On a driveway that can handle 3 or 4?
You can handle 3.
4. Okay, we'll give it 4.
4?
And they're kind of stacked on rows, so it's a little tough to do it.
Right. So regardless, whatever the use of this house is, somewhere those spots are going to have to be used for parking, for off-street parking, which is potentially the lot, if it's connected.
Am I entitled to some spots on the street?
I think it all has to be off-site parking.
Public park.
Not
park.
counting.
Yeah.
And I'm not
Not,
even
yeah,
sure
it's,
that's
the
not.
off-site parking is not counted.
You gotta be
towards
able to
that.
park it on the property.
So for instance, if it's a assisted living facility, you have, what would you say, 4 on site? Sorry?
4 on that
So we said 4 on site, you'd have to have 2 outside. If it's a boarding house, you'd have to have 4 on site and 4 outside the house, outside the site. But aside from parking alone, I think the major concern is just the use. The use of a boarding house is just not appealing to the redevelopment entity. And I kind of want to say that we behoove you to solicit an assisted living company. I think that we're okay with having an assisted living facility in the borough, in the boundaries of the the downtown area and whatnot, because that's inherently, in my opinion, a better use than a boarding house. I'm not talking about for who would be using it. I'm just talking about for the use of the property. I mean, not for nothing, but we've had applications come before us for redevelopment entities where they proposed apartments and there was 1 bathroom for 3 different apartments or whatever it may have been. That's not how people operate these days. You know, if you're looking for, if it's a boarding house and people, privacy, you know, the
Well,
shared.
they all have their own floor.
I don't understand,
You know,
but I think that you would probably get more favor from the council, from the redevelopment agency, if you were looking at using this as a assisted living facility. And I agree with Councilman Friedman. The parking lot, aside from trying to figure out how to get those 4 truck spots in that are being taken out for the access, and then changing the lighting style so it matches the rest of the market yard, so it looks like it was there 20 years ago when someone was planning on putting a parking lot. I think having extra parking is good. Agree with Councilman DiBenedetto, you can't say that your tenants are going to park in this lot. You know, it's proximity. You know, the closer you are to a building, that's where they're going to park. Having 39 extra, or 39, 34 after you get the net sum is nothing to sneeze at. But I think it's going to have to be figured out where the parking.
It'll surely get cars.
I mean,
out of the
look, you're right.
neighborhood.
It's extra parking, and you know, we know that there's always concern about the amount of parking that's in the market yard area. But I think that to say that you're going to require your tenants to park here, will work for the first week until that first rainstorm or that first snowstorm comes through, and they're going to say, I'm not parking all the way across the parking lot, I'm going to park as close as I can to my business, or the clients will park as close as they can to the business. So I think that there has to be something figured out here about how it's being used.
It's not, to say that it's gonna be solely used for my patrons is not fair.
Right.
It's gonna be for everybody, for the people that, my patrons that park in the parking lot, the others will park in my parking lot.
Right.
It'll be a vice versa give and take situation, but regardless, the spots will be there.
Well, absolutely. And
So
that's what
can I guarantee it? No. Or I can't guarantee it either.
Right, and I think that's the thing, though, is I think that
I have a
unless
better
you,
chance than Aura. Aura's far away.
Right.
I'm right here.
I think that if you were to say that this parking lot was being designated as a valet parking lot only for the businesses that you are in partnership with, I mean, that would be understandable because, you can put up signage that says parking lots for valet only, not, non-valet guests are going to be towed at owner's expense, whatever it is. But you can't say that it's going to be valet only during Friday and Saturday nights, and then it's going to be used for your tenants during the week, with the potential that there's overflow parking for anybody else who wants to go into it because you can't keep anybody out of it. It's just, there's not enough either specificity to narrow down what the lot's being used, or it's too general to say that you're going to have to parse something out. I think that having the parking lot is good. I think making it so that it's part of the market yard, even if you own the property, that's part of the market yard use, is benefit not only to your businesses and your partners' businesses, but just to ease the tension on the market yard. I think that's a good thing. I do think that when it comes to the 2701 lot, I don't think you're going to get anything other than either an assisted living facility or some sort of facility of that manner, or showing us that it's going to be converted to multi-level apartments. Which, I mean, either way is work. One's paperwork, one's construction. They both work. I'm not denying that. But if it looks like an assisted living facility and it acts like an assisted living facility, it's going to want to be an assisted living facility, or something in that realm.
I do know he's going to have trouble with assisted. I mean, modern assisted
Yeah.
living facilities are not looking to move into a house built in the 1860s, and so he's
What
gonna,
about a rehab?
he's going to have
facility? Physical rehab.
that's a different use.
Yeah.
Well, no, the same thing.
Yeah.
They don't want people going upstairs. I mean, physical rehab.
That's true too.
Physical rehab.
Physical rehab, and they have physical limitations.
There are specific reason why they're in rehab. So, and then, the best option is figuring out some sort of apartment use. It really, I think at the end of the day, that is going to be your best use. But even with that situation, you're going to have to designate some of those parking spots in the back there for that front use.
And we've talked about that.
So there's going to have to be a couple of those spots designated for that front use. There's going to have to be a couple of those spots designated for those trucks. And then you really do need to speak to your other partner and figure out what his uses needs are, because if he's got a repass at 2 in the afternoon, he may want to be doing valet in that parking lot. And if they're employed, like this.
You have a business that
everyone just needs to be on the same. I think it's a very good idea, the parking lot, but I just think everyone needs to be on the same page, so we don't get into the same battles that have happened with other businesses and valet parking lots, because I don't want to fight about.
There's
parking.
an event that he's going to have 35 people that he wants to valet the parking spots
There's
for.
always going to be a little.
Always going to be an event, but at the same time,
we're going to have to work around.
and just
it
as you
and-
said, you don't know what your
deal
tenants
with
are
it.
going to be in.
Everybody's going to have to iron out all these little things. That's the
But-
way it goes.
but I think-
we can do that
We
before.
can honestly go back and forth.
It needs to
on
get
the
ironed out
lot,
before it comes here.
But the
Yeah.
bottom line is, the parking lot is really not a public parking lot. It has to be designated as your parking lot, because one, the market yard is paid parking after a certain time. So we have to take that into account. We can't have, people taking up your spaces to avoid paying a parking fee. So it has to be designated as your parking. It can't be a public parking spot. And you're gonna have to figure out somehow to have your tenants or your customers or your clients park there. And we can't tell you how to do that. You have to figure that out.
Well,
I think using it as a parking lot is great. It does take some of the burden off of the market yard, but the burden of getting people to park there is on you. It's not on us to tell them to park there. So there has to be signage and some kind of designation for your clients and for your employees and to tell them that they have to park
You're
there.
never gonna, sorry.
And I don't know how that's gonna work,
I can
but,
make that work.
yeah,
You can't.
but.
Yes, I can.
You cannot make customers park there.
Yes, I can.
You cannot.
Yes.
If we could make
I'll tell you how.
customers,
I have been over this a million times. You
All right,
cannot
I'm
make
gonna tell you
customers
how.
park. You can make employees park there, you can make the
I make
tenants.
customers park there too. Because when they shop in my building, they'll bring their receipt to the person, and if they have a receipt, they'll park for free. So they'll park there.
Like,
All right, I think we've heard quite a bit here. Nothing's gonna happen without the use of the house
do you want to know?
being
And they have a
correct.
receipt.
Do you want to know if there's any other input from our
They show their
engineers?
receipt, they park for free.
Hold on, wait, let's make sure we have the record.
The person that'll be there
You're hiring someone to monitor your lot?
during the day.
Well, that adds a whole other element to this. So you're gonna have a full-time person guarding the lot?
And he's gonna have somebody at night.
You know what you need?
So that, we need to,
You need,
that's a whole other.
you need, and what, I don't know how much thought went into the whole day-to-day operation, as you're pointing out, but you probably need a written statement of operations so that you can see exactly how this is
A lot of
gonna work.
moving pieces to this thing
Right.
that need to be.
That's what you're gonna wanna see. We do this in other projects throughout the areas that I work in, that you're gonna wanna see, that Steve's gonna have to think through, speak to Rob Cash about, come up with a plan so that you're comfortable that it's gonna work. But in the end, getting 39 parking spaces has to be a plus.
Yes.
No question, but let's,
No? Okay.
I don't
talk to our
Okay.
engineer and our planners. What do you guys see in this whole thing?
I understand the applicant's proposal so that he can get parking, and so he doesn't have to come for variances for all his different tenants. But between the hotel and his tenants, we should see how many of those parking spots are already being dedicated. So before tenants change, before he says, oh, I have parking here, how much of that parking has already been dedicated to another use, and how many spaces remain? So that even though he provides 39, there might still be a variance situation if there's another use that generates a large parking demand.
Okay.
So there should be a parking calculation.
To your point, Sal, I mean, that's gonna have to all be defined.
Yeah.
You know, all that. Anthony,
So the other thought is, whatever you do on that other property, you could change lot configuration slightly on that large building to accommodate additional parking. Is there some greenery in the back corner of the parking lot? They originally had this design where it was full circulation, and they revised the plans. They had, actually, in the beginning, they had two entryways, two egress, two entry and exit. You recall, we had two entrances, remember? And then they revised it to have one entrance. I just don't know how they're going to accommodate 4 trucks for spaces, so that's going to be difficult.
you know, I was thinking, looking at this plan here, we just had that presentation of those electric car fire blankets.
Right.
Say this parking lot's packed and there's a car fire over here in this corner. Fire truck comes all the way over here. How's that fire truck getting out of there?
So
They have to back out and that
Well,
whole
the
thing.
fire hose is 300 feet long, so they could probably access it from the front.
But I mean, you know what I'm saying? You get in there. You get in that back
I
point.
agree with you.
What's going to happen? You make it car only. A truck's going to pull in. People do things.
I understand.
Nobody reads signs.
I asked for a exit entrance on the other side, just for safety reasons, just to get in and out.
Sorry.
If you do it
Needed.
one way, all the way around, what would just a one-way U-shape from dumpster, from one side of the dumpster to the outside, the other side?
Right.
Can you get more spots in?
No, but it would allow you to leave
Fewer
without going
spots.
into the.
But then you'd have full circulation.
What did you say, Anthony?
You would get less spots if you did it in a one-way circulation.
If you just come in and loop all the way around now.
But you don't need less spots, you need.
The more, well, depends
Because
what.
once you start taking spots for the apartments, and this, and that, and the employees,
And why build
you're
a
gonna be
parking
down to 4 spots.
Yeah, why build the parking lot? Spend that money.
You've already filled up, you're gonna already allocate all your parking spots before there's any parking spots built.
Okay.
Yeah, and again, to get back to it, I mean, the use in that Hudson Street property is gonna dictate what happens up here. You know, and whether it's a small assisted living facility, or to Councilman Freeman's point about adding kitchens on each level and creating 3 apartments, that's gonna have to be, you know, this current use is just not gonna fly. I mean, my opinion, I don't know about everybody else, but, you know, we could talk about the parking lot till the cows come home. Without knowing what's happening in that building or that house on Hudson Street, nothing's gonna happen.
However that's used, like was just said, it's also gonna dictate the amount of parking that you need too. So if it's a apartments, if it's an assisted living facility, whatever it is, that parking has to be satisfied somewhere. And then you're gonna see where you are with whatever's left in the parking lot.
Well, regardless of what I may need, the parking spots stay the same. So I'm gonna need the parking spots regardless of what goes on.
No, I understand, but I think what we're asking is, come back to us with a game plan for the building. How much parking that's gonna require? What is the lot gonna be earmarked for? What's the agreement that you're gonna have with your partner on when it's gonna be used? Having some more detail to it.
I came here because there is no super answer for my building.
Not asking for a super answer, just asking for.
There is no.
You can tell right off the bat that we're not going to entertain a boarding house. So even if you just play the parking numbers game of whether it's a assisted living facility of some sort or an apartment house, multiple 4 apartments, what does that do for your parking requirement? You have X amount of spots that's required for the assisted living, X for the apartments. How many can I fit on the site, on the property itself? How many do I need for overflow? Okay, so I need X, I need Y as an overflow. Well, that's what's going to take away from this parking lot. Now I got to figure out what my partner is going to need it for, and then I can figure out how much is actually left over afterwards.
Am I entitled to put one family in there?
A single family home?
Just one family until I figure out what's going on with the use,
Oh, you mean not necessarily permanently? You're
no,
talking
this
about
way it's not
for now,
empty
it's
and I
not
have a
empty.
little
Yeah.
income on it.
If you change the use, assisted living is no longer allowed.
Well,
Once you change it to.
It would be abandoned.
yes, it would be abandoned. I'm not sure if it, you'd have to provide testimony whether it's currently abandoned or not.
Right, hopefully we won't get into that.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea if you want to do assisted living.
Right. But assuming you're willing to give up what might be a pre-existing non-conforming protection of having an assisted living facility, if you decided to make it a single-family home until you figure out what you're going to do, you lose that protection, right, of assisted living. You have to go get a variance then. So it's up to you. But it's not if he was going to use it as a single-family house, would we have to still come here as a redevelopment agency?
You have to get a zoning permit.
Right, but
It's a permitted use.
right, so I'm not sure we'd have to do this part in order to do.
But can we allow him to keep, I mean, I'd be happy to let him keep the pre-existing non-conforming use of a nursing home.
Right, but if he went the other way, rented it out, he couldn't get that back.
It's just land use
Variance.
Yeah,
No,
so
I understand. There's
if
no
it
way,
stays-
there's no way we
abandonment.
can, I understand, there's no way we can say, okay.
No, it's an abandonment at that point.
So, I mean, wouldn't that be kind
Just to occupy it.
of more beneficial to him? Because if you use it as assisted living, it's still, if he has to come back and if it's gonna be, it has to be for the good of the community, as it reads in here. So why not make it a single family home and let him get, a family in there?
You're saying you would, because it's a positive use, we
Well,
would
but
say
he's
yes.
saying-
Then
It's
it
a
changes,
private use.
you need.
Then I won't be
it's zoning
allowed
at
to
that
do
point.
the,
Yeah, it would be a
Go
new
back.
application.
It's a whole new zoning.
And then he'll come in front of the board saying that he has a single family house and he wants to convert it into assisted living. And then the response is probably gonna be negative.
Sure, yeah, but,
Right.
so what I'm saying right now, though, is, right now, the criteria, it has to be for the benefit of the community, for public health, such as like a school, a hospital, or a public housing facility. But if you got rid of all that, and so I'm gonna make it a single family house, and it's all good.
So.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to leave it that way. He
Right.
wants to go back to
So
it.
then we'd have to
If it
come
stays
back.
that way,
Then
no
we'd have to
problem.
come back. We'd have to come back. to
Yeah,
it.
and if you couldn't,
We'll talk about, you don't need to talk about that here. We'll figure that out. Steve.
I think your attorney's trying to
Tell them
guide
to
you.
be quiet.
That would
Yeah,
be the first time I've ever done that, Steve.
Well, usually you just grab me like
Yeah.
this.
All right, so I think you have a pretty.
We have some
good
direction, thank you.
understanding.
We'll be back, I'm sure, soon, but let us talk a little bit. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Good seeing you all. Rob, do me a favor, just before you go, just can you Vanna White that picture past the camera that's over by Mr. Gallo?
Absolutely.
Or someone do that?
All right, thank you. Item 18 is, oh, well, I'll wait 1 second.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye, Lefty.
Okay, thank you. Item 18 are public comments. If anyone from the public would care to make a comment to the governing body, please step forward, state your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Yolanda Curry, 54 Bond Street, Freehold. I want to indicate to a lot of people, because I advocate with the military for homeless senior citizens or military citizens. And I go to a lot of these council, Congress meetings and stuff like that. And I went to a Planned Parenthood meeting, and I spoke to one of the building owners who, they have in Asbury, if you know anyone who's homeless or need to just go take a shower, get something to eat or anything, they have a facility out in Asbury. And anyone is welcome within that area to go there to take a shower, get something to eat, or they can try to stay there until they can get a place to stay. Second off, thank you for the call.
Is it open all day?
It's called the, wait a minute, Center House Center, one of those two. It's on 3rd Avenue in Asbury. And like the train tracks right there, and once you go over, the building's right there. I think it's 806, I'm not sure.
Our agencies are aware of this and give out that information. Our EHAP and CARP and all that.
The only reason why I say that, because I met a couple of homeless people that came from New York and they were coming down here. And they were looking for a woman's shelter. And majority are men's shelters. I have not found a woman's shelter here. And getting to your April thing with the diapers thing, I used to work for social services for 30 plus years. And I worked in every facility from battered women to children in different kind of facilities, as you know, so I know about that. And I've been a diapers worker for over 30, social worker for over 30 something years. And I'm always for children's safety and abuse and neglect like that.
If you were looking for a shelter for women, there's an organization locally, it's called 180 Turning Lives Around. They have safe houses where they house women that need housing.
Yeah, because when I came down this way, see, I'm from up north, so I knew all the places up there. But when people come to me down here, I didn't know any place. So like I said, I found that place in Asbury. But it used to be a place, they told me, we used to be on Manalapan, across the street from that church. And
That's still there.
oh, okay, because every time I went there, it was never open.
You have to call, they don't answer the door, you have to call their office. I can get you their information.
Okay, because like I said, I'm trying to advocate, I go to these Democratic parties to emphasize that these people need affordable housing, and they need to have some place for these people to go. Because looking around the world and seeing how everybody's living homeless and stuff, it's ridiculous. You know, we're supposed to be one of the richest countries and people don't have homes. I don't understand. So if I was a billionaire, I'd make a home, not like what he was talking about, but I would make a home to where people could really live there and have a place to say they got home. But that was my only thing, and I wanted to say, okay, good night, and you have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else care to make a comment to the governing body?
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks.
My name is Andrea Barica, 236 Park Avenue. I need some help or guidance or how to advise in this situation. It's a little bit over a year now. I have the church right next to me. I'm the second house from the church. We're having a lot of close calls, really close calls, several almost accidents, pulling out of my driveway to the left and to the right. It's a state road, Park 33. The shoulder lane, there's two on each side, and the shoulder lane isn't even it's a shoulder lane, but it narrows, so it's not actually a full shoulder lane. There's parking that's going on when they have events. It's usually Friday, Saturday, Sunday, in front of my house, across the street from my house. I have the two big grandfather trees left and right, so not only is that a blind spot coming out, but now I have cars parking on either side, and I have to my family and I, we have to put our car nose right there, and I can't tell you how many times I almost got smacked, T-boned. Not only that, there's tractor trailers coming down the road, there's buses coming down the road, commercial coming down, and they go around the cars because their tires, and I have pictures, the tires are over the white line and actually in the street. So when these cars coming down, and it's a pretty fast road, didn't realize when I bought the house how the road's kind of, there's traffic. And when these tractor trailers are coming down, they're going around these cars on each end, oncoming traffic, going around, and I can't tell you how many times in my camera video you're hearing the beeps and people screaming at each other. It is so dangerous. But last weekend, I really had it because my husband and I were leaving, and we both almost got T-boned. And it was just, the pastor there we spoke to, he's awesome. He came actually over to the house, and we've been in communication. He's been very cooperative, really nice. He's trying to help out, but it's just not working. They started putting cones out, and I have videos of actually people coming out and they're physically taking the cones and they're moving them to park in the spots. So the cones aren't helping. We're trying to make it work, but it's just not working, and too many close calls. And not only that, but I've lived there for 6-7 years now. When the people are parking in front, they're coming with their family and kids. When the traffic's going back and forth, they don't care what's going on. It takes one kid, because I've seen it before. I was out watering and my grass in the morning, and these kids, they're coming out, they're opening up their doors, and the oncoming traffic, they're jumping out on the shoulder lane. God forbid that happens. I would never be able to live in my house again. I would have to, knock on wood. It's dangerous. It's a tragedy waiting to happen, not only for myself and my neighbors, for the people parking there. And from what I read, I'm just going to read it real quick. It's A3918, and this is on the New Jersey government page. A person shall not park or leave standing a vehicle, whether attended or unattended, upon the roadway outside of a business or residential district when it is practical to park or leave it standing off the roadway. 4 weeks ago, I called the police department. I did ask when I called for him to come to the house and he could see what was going on, or just to see the overall what's going on. Nothing happened out of that. And then this past Sunday, there was a police officer, Officer Santero, I believe, if I'm saying that right. He was sitting in his car outside, and I walked up to him because it's a walking distance. I walked up to him, and I advised that I had the pictures of the cars And he stated that he can't do, there's nothing that can be done because there is no sign on the street. There's a sign in the beginning, I don't know if this pertains to anything, but it says no stopping or standing. Doesn't say anything about parking. But he said there's nothing, and you could see tires actually in the lane, over the white line, in the shoulder lane. And he stated that the shoulder lane, that they're actually not even supposed to be putting cones there because you have to be, I think, safety trained or something like that to put physical cones out there, so the church shouldn't even be.
Mr. Chairman, if I can interrupt.
Yeah, go ahead.
No one is allowed to put any traffic controls in the street except for the government.
That's what he stated, yes.
But Annette and I had a conversation about this during our discussion of safe routes to schools. And we did receive concern on the part of the school district with regard to the cars parking there and everything. We can call our newfound friend, perhaps, and engage him to help us with having no parking signs.
Yeah, and there's an agreement with the school, right? They're allowed to park in the school, I believe. Don't they have an agreement?
Oh, from the church?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's an agreement.
That is
You're
an
right.
official agreement?
Yes.
Or just a?
Yeah, no, they do.
Yeah,
Well, then that,
Right.
that's the bottom line.
We need to determine the status. If it is no parking, we need to have the state put up no parking signs.
Okay.
If it's not no parking, we need to have them make it no parking.
Yeah.
And put up no parking signs. The commission has been a great help to us recently, and I'm sure we can get some action quickly on this.
Yeah, because even exiting the school,
It's bad there too.
And I've noticed that even on weekdays, parents are parking along there with,
Yes, they
they
are.
never did before.
Sure.
Now, if you recall, Lindsay brought this to our attention once before.
I'm coming back up, so.
She
But
said,
yeah, I'm sorry. We
No.
make it from the light all the way to the school,
Yellow
both
curb.
sides.
I'm sorry.
and Sunset Boulevard, Sunset
Yeah, all the way to Kyle.
Court and,
From Maine to Kyle.
Both sides.
The president of the Board of Education told Steve and I that he'd spoken with the DOT, and they said they were going to put yellow lines out there come the fall, but maybe we can get some no parking signs there now, because it's.
I will even pay for I will pay for any sign. It's so many,
We get a sign.
Let us make a call.
it's just, we were very, very close into getting smacked, and it was, and I, friends coming over.
What number are you?
I'm 236.
Are
I'm
you
the
on same
Lions.
side as the church?
Yes.
Yeah, two from the church.
I'm next to the brick.
Can I ask her the
oh,
question?
excuse us.
I'm right next to the brick.
I'm sorry, ladies.
Like,
but
wait a
no.
minute.
I'm the one
Are you
with
on
the,
same side as the church?
yes,
Are you in the brick church, brick house next door?
I'm next to the brick. The one that's all lit up at night, like bright.
Oh, we're, what's your name? I'm asking you now.
Oh, I can talk? Excuse me, she's in the blue mother-daughter.
Yes.
Oh, the blue, not the brick house next door?
No.
Right next door?
No,
Yes.
not where this.
These
Man,
don't live there.
We'll, let
I
us
don't
reach
know who
out.
lived there.
Let us reach out to the state.
Yes.
We should confirm
But that's not a,
agreement.
Yeah.
all of you have been to my house, you know where I live, and the lines on the side, by the sidewalk, are not big enough
Right.
for a car to park. So if you were to have everybody parking along both sides of that highway at the fireworks, now imagine what that would be. That's what they're talking
Wide
about.
enough for a car. either.
Well,
Right.
that's what she's talking
That's
about. That's
that
exactly
was on
what it
Sunday.
is.
That was this Sunday.
It's not even a block away from me.
It's,
I know exactly.
but what do
They
I,
definitely, they should
but
not be parking there.
what can be done now until these because every time I go there, I don't want to sound like, because it's, they're going for worship. I'm not trying to be a pain in the butt, but from now to then, and they said that they were going to, but it's not working. And then when there's a car in front, I don't want to bother the police department, and then for them to turn around and tell me, well, there's nothing we can do because there's no signs.
We'll reach out to the, yeah.
Give us a week.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Let us work on it.
Thank you.
By the way, we respect and like the pastor also. And I'm
He's
sure
awesome.
He's doing everything he
Yeah,
can.
but it's not him. It's
No, and it's wonderful that in this day and age especially, that he has such a wonderful congregation.
And
It's not
grow-
that
and grow.
you're complaining about.
Yeah, it's not,
Right,
it's
right,
not them, it's
exactly.
not anybody that's in there, it's the people
A
just.
safety situation.
Yes,
Can you
yes.
tell us customers where to park?
No.
It's the flock, Jerry.
Thank you.
It's the flock.
You guys gonna flip a coin?
Yeah, well, we can join hands, and apparently we all live on the same street. 1 Sunset Court, Lindsay Samuelson have come to complain about the same thing. It's to the point where a Ford F-150 has parked halfway into the median where sidewalk, grass, street. And not only is that ripping up the roadway, because these Ford F-150s are giant, but now you have a car and a half. And it's all the way from the corner past my house, if you will, on a given Sunday, straight up to, if we're on the opposite side, I am not on the side of the church, I'm on the opposite side, across from the school. We have the school parking lot, but there's also a driveway that lets out, because the school is only one way. I can't get out of my driveway. Like, I don't have, like, you know, all the computerized backup cameras. I drive a 2008 Jeep. So it's me against the world getting out of my driveway, and we don't have enough to turn around. So I have to physically back out. So yeah, blind spots for sure. They hug the curb to the driveway, which becomes even more delicate of an issue. But yeah, I mean, the congregation's full of kids. You know, you watch them just pour out of the cars, and you're on a major roadway. So that was the first thing. The second thing is that street from the light on Main down to the school, it goes from 40 or 45 to 25 in the school zone. And there are the rumble strips to denote, you know, the crossing of the lanes. And you get these tractor trailers at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning coming down, and they're expected to go, if they make that light, still thinking that it's 45, to stop before they hit that 25-mile-an-hour zone is, I mean, I don't know what it takes to stop an 18-wheeler going 45, but I'm pretty sure it's like barely in the range. And I think that segment from the school to the light should be minimized, because they're flying off a 9 coming down. And it rattles the house. I mean, you can look at the pavement in the street, you can look at the concrete on my sidewalks. It's all separating my house across the street, all the way down from the light, all the way down to South Street. For sure, there's lines in the road. I had one other thing that I wanted to say, and I'm going to take a break because I can't remember what it was. I'm having a senior
While
moment.
you're
Got
thinking
excited.
about it, could we ask you a question?
You sure can.
Did your, after you spoke to us and we made a call, did your electricity?
Oh, that was the
stop
last
blinking?
one. No,
Was it?
still blinking. Thank you.
Oh, it's still blinking?
Still on and off. And we sent out a text message just because we're, you know, friends with all of our neighbors to say, is it just 1 Sunset Court? Is it across the street? Our across the street neighbors have said, I'm just meeting this lady tonight, so I haven't gone down to ask her. But yeah, ever since it's still flickering. And it's,
So we're gonna have to
yeah.
make another.
We did call the municipal, you know, the utility company,
Since the-
electricity, like the lights in
since
the
the-
house, since they put the addition on the
onto
school.
Their electricity.
Yeah. So you might not be, somebody said that we might be on a different grid, but the electric company said, oh, well, you're just going to have to upgrade your panel. It's probably your house. I'm like, but
Not if it's
there's
everybody.
9 of us.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you for
Okay.
reminding me.
So that
So Lindsay, just real quick,
Yep.
on your suggestion that you made with the tractor trailers.
Sure.
It's a tentative date, and I'll confirm it. Steve had talked about Safe Routes to School.
Sure.
There's gonna be a community outreach. At
Okay.
one point, we need people to give us feedback, what they wanna see
Sure.
on that strip of road.
Yeah.
And tentatively, it's dated for May 19th
Okay.
at Park Avenue School. But I'll
Great.
have all the information for you, you can walk over it.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
And I have noticed, whoever mentioned it, that during school hours now, the parents are parking because they saw that it was okay on a Sunday to do this, and it's very dangerous. It makes me very scared. And you know what? You know, the God bless the crossing guards, because I think they need lit signs that say stop. I can't tell you how many times just people just not paying attention on their phone with the kids, whatever. There's a million things going on, and they're just flying through that also. So anything we can do to, you know, kind of minimize that. All right? Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good evening. Kimberly Wright, 80 Center Street. First, I'd like to say thank you to Mayor Kane and the council. I really feel your heart for the borough as far as the health initiatives and the two, I guess, ordinances or proclamations that you guys declared: April Child Abuse Prevention Month, Autism Awareness Month. Even Arbor Day is great. It's awesome. Falls in line with, you know, the health of the borough. I just wish there was a more central location where that could be posted, where people from in and out of town or traveling through town could really see how we care or how you guys care for the borough, especially somewhere in the center of town. But I don't know. I know that the school has the electronic board and you probably post there, but it would really be nice for people who are driving through town to see what you're actually doing in the town somehow. I have a few things that I made some notes about, and some are comments and some are requests. First thing is thank you for the upgrades at Liberty Street Park. But last summer I went down there to try to use some of the equipment. I'm not a weak lady, but I could not move the equipment. They're very tight, so I'm asking for those to be loosened. Thank you for the water feature that's coming, pickleball court, and the youth structure, so thank you for that. And I heard you make mention that Lloyd, Bond, and Factory Street, and I believe Liberty the streets will be repaved or, correct, right. And I wanted to know if curbing, like the repair of the curbs, are included in that?
I would be as needed. We're not replacing the entire curb, but if it's damaged, we'll do something.
Okay, because please note that Lloyd Street and Liberty Street, portions of the curbs are eroded, crumbled, whatever. So then another thing is, I didn't hear the mention of 2nd Street between Factory and Bond, or even Liberty. So is there any plan for the repavement, repair of 2nd Street? Because it's horrible.
Yeah, it's not on the list for this year.
So
We'll take a look at it.
please, thank you. And then Court Street School, when is the expected completion date for that?
June of 2026.
June 2026. Once it's completed, will that be offered to the community for free use, or will there be a fee attached to using that?
It's offered now.
Right, it's offered now, but when it's completed, will it be fee or free?
No, we're not charging a fee.
Okay, cool, that's good, thank you. And then I live on Center Street, and I don't live on Park Avenue. I know Park Avenue is much busier and crazier, I get it, but Center Street is also a busy street. Summer's about to come. We have, thankfully, more children 10 and under on our street, which is great because there's families moving in, and they're already on the sidewalk playing and blah, blah, blah. So I've already, maybe twice before in the past, I made mention people are speeding down Center Street. No, they're not. People are speeding down Center Street. Cars are getting hit, swiped. Only 1 in 5 years, whatever. 1 is too many. And this is not to anyone that's here. Previously, I asked for speed bumps or signs or something. And the speed bumps at the time, they were saying, oh, well, you really don't want them because it's going to cause a lot of noise. And then when I asked for like maybe an observation of the speed of the cars going through, I don't know what that's called, but they said, oh, we didn't clock anybody speeding. They're speeding on Center Street. There's all types of traffic coming from town, coming from Kozlowski, day and night. A year ago, there were 5 cars sideswiped, 2 cars were totaled in one night with 1 car. The people were never found, right, who hit the car. My car has personally been sideswiped, thousands of dollars of damage twice on Center Street. There is a problem. You know, a snapshot in time, a week in time is not enough time to see that there's real damage being done. So I'm asking either, I ride around the town and I see that some places have these, children at play or, Even some people make their own makeshift signs, you know, watch the children. I'm asking if something can be posted or done, anything. If you don't want to put the speed bumps, cool, fine, but something to be done, right?
Kim, if I may.
Yes.
I think that one of the issues on Center Street, because I was just actually observing this the other day, is that people treat it as a one-lane road.
Because
it's slightly wide enough, but when you have the cars parked on either side, it becomes kind of narrow. There have been times when I've had to get as far over to the right as possible, especially coming around that one bend that's right there.
It almost stops, so they don't
Yeah,
park and go by.
we almost like need to put in the yellow lines to kind of enforce that 2 lanes, which might slow people down a little bit.
Please. And I'm glad that you made mention of that. I don't know if it's known or I don't know what the reason is, but there is parking on both sides of that tiny, narrow Center Street. It's not fair. I agree with the ladies back here. When I'm pulling out of my driveway, I'm sitting there for a long time. I even pull back up to make sure I don't see a car coming because there's a huge whatever over here, a huge whatever, car on both sides. Is creating a blind spot, and my car has a backup camera. With all of that, I'm scared to death to back out into Center Street to go any which way. But you're right, they're parking on both sides of the street. And my side of the street, there's 20 cars on one block. And so I heard mention also, I don't know if this is an ordinance or something that you guys are going to try to push through, but that for each home, according to the number of bedrooms or whatever, there would be only a certain number of parking spaces allowed, which is a good idea. I'm for that because one home could have 8 cars to it on my street. That's the thing. One car on my street can have 6 to 8 cars. So I'm in support of that. And thank you for hearing me out.
Thank you.
I just wanted to add to that, in the morning, the double parking is ridiculous on Center Street. They're picking up people or, with the big trucks or with the taxis or whatever. It's absolutely ridiculous, the double parking, not just on Center Street, but in that whole area. You can't get through safely because people are just not paying attention. So I agree that there needs to be signage and enforcement of, the double parking and the speeding or whatever. I go through there twice every day. I go to the gym in the morning and I go when I'm going to work. And it's just like people are not paying attention.
And that's basically every street.
I was gonna say,
Every street. We've had our cars totaled right here. I live on this street. We've had our cars totaled, we've had our cars totaled here.
You gotta come up and...
Julie, guys, come on. Don't know me. My name is Norma and I live down the street, 56 Mechanic.
Wait,
And that problem.
Norma, do it again on the mic, please.
Sorry, is it on?
Yeah.
Okay. Norma from 56 Mechanic Street, LSA last name, but what you guys are talking about happens on every street in town. I back up into my driveway every day so that way I don't have to run over a pedestrian, a bicycle, or another car. And I have a backup camera. It happens everywhere.
no, the double parking and all that, I sent the picture to Steve over the weekend. There was 2 vehicles parked on the side grass, then cars parked on the street, and then a 3rd vehicle double park. I mean, it was just like, oh my God, what is going on here?
I see the chief.
Chief's taking notes, so we're gonna.
But we have a volume issue of traffic in this town. Right on studies before on streets, and it's staggering how many cars in a 7 to 10 day period utilize our streets, and they utilize them Center Street, Jackson Street, Mechanic Street. It's to get around the downtown area, so we see a lot of heavy traffic. Even on Conover Street, we see it. Brandenburg Avenue, we saw numbers that were in the thousands on Brandenburg Avenue.
3,700 and some cars, and that's just a block long. And the residents perceived it as speeding. We had the thing up there for a while, and they weren't speeding, but the volume alone, 3,700 and some cars in a period of
7 and 10 days.
Yeah, right, exactly. And you know,
We got it.
there's beauty in the fact that we're so popular and populated with people, but just like the church, it's wonderful that they have such a gigantic outpouring of people, but it causes problems.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll continue to work on this with the police, but for those of you who've been around any length of time here, you see what's happening around Freehold Borough with the housing development, and all the roads cut through the town. And what happens is you go through town enough, and traffic's backed up, you find all the shortcuts. Every street in Freehold Borough is a shortcut somewhere. And you know, and everybody's running late, nobody's paying attention, and it's just, like the chief said, it's pure volume. But we'll continue to work at it, and you know, it's not an excuse, but you know, these streets weren't built for the volume of traffic that we see now. So we have to adjust to it, and we will. So thank you for all your concerns. Any further public comment?
I have a question. How do you track that? How many cars go in and out? They do it, just like us. How do you track that?
Car counters.
Boxes that we could put up on the
Car counters.
phone call so that the drivers do not know that we're going.
I was curious.
It gives us a true and accurate count of what's happening on the street without a sign, speed sign.
Right.
Let me just tell you that I asked for, after complaints from Redbird Avenue, I asked for the monitor to be put up there. I had it in my mind that it was that big thing you see that records your thing. So I called 3 times and said, when are you going to put that thing up? Finally, the officer said to me, it's up. And it's been up now for days, and directed me where to look. Son of a gun, I went over there, and there it is, right up on a pole up high.
That's good.
You never noticed, that's good.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Huh?
You don't give too much description.
Yeah.
It's there.
010.
Oh, I see what you mean. Duh.
Anyway, any further public comment?
Seeing none, I'll make a motion to close the public portion of this meeting.
Second. Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes, sorry.
Rogers? Yes. Shelter?
Yes.
Okay, the public comment section is closed. On item 19, there are council reports and comments. Start off with Council President Reich.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, everybody, for staying out with us tonight. We really appreciate it. Happy Easter weekend, and happy with us Easter to those who celebrate. I was saddened by the news this morning of the passing of Pope Francis. He was a man of infinite compassion and love, and he will sorely be missed in this world. And I only hope that the next Pope is someone of the same, cut from the same thread as he was. The Memorial Day is just over a month away. The parade committee is meeting with representatives from the different committees and departments, the police department, fire department, EMS, DPW, this week to start hashing out the final plans for coordination. So start looking online. You'll see some flyers coming out over the e-blast and social media regarding street closures and timing for the parade. This year's, and I have a longer presentation information for the next meeting, but 2 things. Ken Polchak from the American Legion is going to be our Grand Marshal. And we're lucky enough to have Dolores Gibson, a former borough clerk, as our MC that afternoon, or that morning. So it's going to be a good time. Through the assistance of the Legislative District 11, we are coordinating to have the Real ID mobile unit here in town at Borough Hall in the early part of July 10th, I believe. So once we get those details squared away, we will put out some flyers and some information as well to tell you how to get appointments and whatnot to be able to get your Real ID. Again, just to repeat what Mr. Gallo said, don't forget this Wednesday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. there's going to be work being done on the intersection of West Main and Throckmorton, and there's a section in town on West Main Street that's going to be closed. We'll have detour signs up. There will be police helping with the assistance of the detoured and the route around, so just be mindful of that. The last thing I have is tomorrow's Earth Day. It's actually the 55th anniversary of Earth Day. This year's theme is our power, our planet. And it's a focus on renewable energy to build a healthy, sustainable, equitable, and prosperous future for us all. And I think that's something that we all look forward to. So happy Earth Day to everybody, and have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Schutzer.
Yes, I want to thank whoever it was responsible for moving our 9/11 monument from Memorial, from the old Borough Hall to this one. That is not only because of what it stands for, but because the 8th grade class at the intermediate school at that time planned that and did everything to have that memorial put in the ground, and it has been a wonderful thing. So I'm glad that we finally got it. So when we have our 9/11, maybe we can have it over here now. So thanks to anybody who was instrumental in doing that. And I'll relinquish my time. I want to dedicate my time tonight to Lynn Reich. Lynn Reich, a former councilwoman in town, very active in many capacities, from the Educational Foundation to our Recreation Commission, and through the years I couldn't possibly name everything she's done. So I want to sincerely congratulate her. She is the 2025 recipient of the Arts Educators Award being handed out by the county organization, and that is being held on Thursday, May 8th at Monmouth University. And she is specifically getting the Arts Education Legacy Award. So I certainly want to send our congratulations to her and respect.
I will.
She's listening.
I don't know about that. I'll have to replay the live feed for her
She
later.
was going to come, but she had another
another
thing
meeting.
to do tonight.
Yeah. She had a meeting with 2 grandkids. Thank you, Sharon. I'll send it along. We appreciate that.
McGackin Award is going to be given on the 23rd, Memorial Day weekend, Friday night. There are some ticket requests out there that you can fill out if you'd like to come. Jimmy Hurley, George Taylor, and All Kids One Field are being honored. Little League Parade is this Saturday if the rain holds off. Color Run at the high school is this Saturday if the rain holds off. County shredding will be held, free shredding will be held in the parking lot of the racetrack on Saturday morning. And we'll be having shredding also on the Mayor's Cleanup Day. So, thank you. I was going to shorten it, but he made me say
Thank you.
That's the McGackin Award.
Councilmember DiBenedetto.
I would just talk about one thing, tradition. In the fire department, I always say tradition is not built, it's just passed down. Well, the police department has had a little hiccup in their tradition and through the years. And I commend you, Chief, today, you had your outing today, for continuing, you and Pat Healy, the PBA president, for trying to get over that hiccup and build back tradition. It's not how much money you made today on your golf outing, which they had today, and how much money they make on their days they want. It's what you do with it. They give back to the community, they gave back to organizations today, and they gave back to the community today through other, you might elaborate on what I'm talking about, but the money that was made today at their golf outing goes back into our community through great things that they do. And I commend you for trying to build that tradition back up, you and Pat Healy, the president of the PBA.
The PBA does a great job, and president of the PBA, Pat Healy, he and the members of the executive board, our delegates, Sam Hernandez, they really concentrate on making sure that we're giving back to the community. The money that we do raise goes to good causes in our own community and giving back. And it's big part of being involved, and it's also that's part of our being a benevolent association. That's what we're there for, and that's where the money's supposed to go. Anytime we can help out, we're glad to.
It was great to see the turnout that your officers showed today.
Thank you.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Jordan.
Thank you. I just want to talk about this past Saturday, and I want to give a big shout out to our recreation commissioners. Talking about tradition, we welcomed the Easter Bunny to town, and we held it at the fire department. And sometimes I don't know if the kids are more excited to see the bunny or go and take their photos with the fire trucks. And the chief was there, Chief Wilson, as well as Larry Jackson, and they were gracious enough to give the families a tour of the firehouse. The kids were taking on photos, they were trying on turnout gear, and then they also had a wonderful photo with the Easter Bunny. All the kids got treats, and I think we had about 100 families there. It was wonderful. Thanks to Sharon for coming out. Victor Conover, one of our commissioners, as well as Christian Jensen and Kate McKay were all there. So it was a great day. They did a phenomenal job, and it was really exciting. People had a great time. Oh, and a big shout out to the fire department, as well as Downtown Partnership, who always provides the chair for the bunny, so we appreciate that. Also coming up, Borough-wide yard sale, which is another recreation function, Saturday, May 17th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Rain date's the 18th. The map is already finished. The deadline to get on the map was April 15th. However, if you still want to, be part of it, all you have to do is just fill out the form, and you can do it online and just email it in, or you can fill this out and drop it off downstairs, and you can still be part of it. And then you just pick up your sign and sell all the great stuff that you haven't want to get rid of. What else do we have? Steve mentioned it, but the fireworks will be held on July 3rd at the racetrack this year. This year, the Recreation Commission will be actually working with the Downtown Partnership. We added a test band. We also have a couple food trucks, and we have the Knights of Columbus are going to come in, and they're going to sell some hamburgers and hot dogs, and that's going to be great. It's going to be a local organization, and they're going to be raising some money for that. So if you have some time, come on over July 3rd at the racetrack. Now, our health department is putting together a blood drive, and the blood drive is to honor Bill Madden, who was one of our volunteers who just stepped aside. He worked on the Board of Health for over 40 years. He was a volunteer in town for over 70 years. So the blood drive is going to be May 13th from 2 to 7 p.m. You can go online, you can scan this QR code to sign up for a time. We had a few slots left, so it would be wonderful if everybody could sign up and come on out and support this cause. That same day, Mayor's Wellness will be launching our Walking with Wendell in Liberty Park. That's Wendell Everett is one of our recreation commissioners, and he will be doing this for our seniors in town. So 10:30, everybody, if you'd like to join them, gather at the pavilion at Liberty and just take a nice usually stroll, 10:30 through the park. You can go as long as you want to, just to kind of get the seniors out. So we'll, got to get rid of that isolation, get out, get some exercise. So please join us for that. And that's about it. That's all I think I have. Thanks for everybody coming out tonight.
Thank you. Councilmember Rogers.
Thank you. Thank you everybody for coming out tonight. I just wanted to, the library has a lot of great programs. I just wanted to highlight gardening event. It's actually a little late, but if you're thinking about starting a garden this year, they are having a talk on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. To talk about gardening in this area, and it'll be run by a master gardener. They'll come in and give you tips on getting your soil ready and things like that. So it should be a really interesting event. But always check out the library calendar because they have a lot of great events. As I mentioned earlier, our Arbor Day event for the children will be on May 2nd at Park Avenue at the Park Avenue Gym. And it's always a fun time to recognize the kids. And Christine, I don't remember, but on April 25th, I believe it is, we'll be planting a tree at Freehold Learning Center. Yes.
Thanks to Columbia Bank.
Yes, it was donated by Columbia Bank, so we'll be they accepted a tree and we'll be planting it on April 25th. And that's all I have. Thank you everyone for coming out and have a good night.
Thank you. Councilmember Frieden.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So Steve, during the administrative report, talked a little bit about the quality of life team that's been put together that's going over some new ordinances like the parking requirement. As part of that, there is now a kind of new department of code. It's the enforcement division. So there are now a couple people out there going around at various times of the day doing nothing but following up on your complaints and driving around and finding problems. For many years, the code staff has been overwhelmed, a lot too much work and with their day-to-day stuff, and it's been hard for them to get out to do this really proactive enforcement, and that has now changed, and that's now happening, and I appreciate all the hard work of everyone on this body, and Steve, and the police, and the attorney, and our planner, and everyone who's been part of this to get this up and running. I think it's going to make a big difference over the years to come, so that's something that people have been talking about for years. We found ways to do better and move forward, so I'm excited about that. On much better notes, this Sunday, the Food Truck Festival. So spring is here. It's supposed to be nice out. Rain is supposed to stop at 5:30 a.m. It will be 65 and sunny by noon. So come on out and enjoy a great day downtown. We've got some great music, great food trucks, and great vendors. And then next event after that is Porch Fest, on May 18th. If you have a band that you'd like to play in Porch Fest, or have a porch that would like to host a band, reach out to me through our downtown email, our Arts Council email, or just reach out to me directly. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to just thank everyone for coming out this evening. We appreciate it. There being no further business, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benavides?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Rice?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Shelter?
Yes.
Thank you. We are adjourned.